A storm is brewing in Washington. The city, already thick with tension, has just been rocked by an explosive leak. Politicians in Washington are frantically scrambling as a document surfaces, one that has the potential to reshape everything. The document is being called the Patriot List, and it's a list of names, 5 Democrats targeted for removal from Congress, with Ilhan Omar sitting at the very top. Why her? According to this leaked file, Omar has been accused of betraying the American people. The document alleges that she used her position to shield illegal immigrants from deportation, even going so far as to coach them on how to evade ICE, a direct act of defiance against the laws that hold this country together. Brandon Gill, one of the most outspoken MAGA lawmakers, has vowed to expose the truth. He stands firm in his claim that this is the beginning of something much bigger. The timing couldn't be worse. Public outrage over the border crisis is at an all-time high, and the influence of MAGA forces is surging across the nation. Is this a mere political stunt, or is it the first step in a full-scale MAGA-led political purge? As the news spreads like wildfire, progressives are scrambling to respond. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, never one to shy away from a political fight, takes to MSNBC to call the leak nothing short of an authoritarian power grab. They're coming after Ilhan today, she warns. But make no mistake, tomorrow they'll come for all of us. Her voice is sharp, urgent, but is it enough to stop the rising tide? Behind closed doors, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer calls an emergency meeting. Tensions are high, and panic is spreading like wildfire within the Democratic Party. Omar fires back on CNN, claiming the accusations are a racist MAGA lie, a desperate attempt to silence her. But while she passionately defends herself, a critical question is being ignored by the media. Congresswoman, did you or did you not help illegal immigrants evade ICE? The pressure mounts as the days go by. The left is divided. Some are already questioning if defending Omar is worth the political fallout. Moderate Democrats are quietly distancing themselves, fearing that standing by Omar could cost them their seats. Is this the moment the left starts to crumble? As the left fights for survival, MAGA lawmakers are pushing forward. Conservative lawmakers draft a bill aimed at legalizing this political purge. It's bold, dramatic, and far-reaching. Could Omar be the first to fall? Or is this just the beginning? If she falls, who will be next? And then a bombshell is dropped on Capitol Hill. Brandon Gill steps onto the House floor, voice unwavering, declaring that he has proof, concrete evidence of Omar's involvement in coaching illegal immigrants to evade ICE. The room goes silent as he drops the bombshell. The FBI has an audio recording that could end her career overnight. But why hasn't the FBI acted on this? Why hasn't this evidence surfaced before now? Questions swirl, but the truth remains elusive. Democrats rush to counterattack, with AOC and Bernie Sanders leading the charge. AOC calls the claims a baseless smear, while Sanders warns that allowing accusations like this to stand without proof sets a dangerous precedent. But behind the scenes, things are growing even more complicated. The media is already drawing lines. CNN, MSNBC, and the New York Times all quickly work to discredit Gill. They paint him as a radical, a conspiracy theorist, desperate for attention. Every major news outlet seems to have aligned against him. But here's the most glaring omission. No one, not a single journalist, asks the most obvious question. Did Ilhan Omar aid illegal immigrants in evading ICE? The tension keeps rising as Gill insists that the truth will come out, while Omar doubles down on CNN, calling this entire scandal a MAGA fabrication. But with the FBI remaining silent and no evidence presented to clear her name, something doesn't add up. What are they hiding? Then, a startling revelation takes place. Late one evening, an explosive leak hits the internet. An FBI document surfaces on X, posted by an independent journalist known for uncovering government cover-ups. This document reveals that Omar had once been under investigation for receiving funds from a foreign nonprofit organization with ties to Somalia. The investigation was quietly killed, buried without explanation. Why? Who ordered it to be dropped? Brandon Gill immediately seizes the moment, demanding a formal inquiry into why the FBI investigation was terminated. His words send shockwaves through Washington. The document ignites conservative media, fueling calls for action. The speculation runs rampant. Is this just another case of a government cover-up, or is the truth finally about to come to light? The Justice Department moves swiftly, issuing a public statement dismissing the leaked document as incomplete and misleading. No further comment, no investigation, just silence. But the damage has already been done. The whispers about what's been covered up are growing louder, and some within the Democratic Party are starting to wonder if they've been protecting the wrong person all along. Democratic leaders are divided. Some, including AOC and Rashida Tlaib, stand firmly behind Omar, decrying the MAGA attacks as racist and sexist. AOC raises her voice in defiance. If they succeed in taking down Ilhan, who's next? This isn't about justice. This is about power. Her words spark applause among the base, but the real conversation is happening behind closed doors. Senate Democrats are having private discussions about Omar's future. With Trump's victory galvanizing the MAGA movement, moderates are quietly suggesting that defending Omar could weaken their political stance. Some argue that it may be time to cut ties with her to minimize the fallout. Is Omar becoming a liability for the party? Meanwhile, liberal media outlets are starting to shift their narrative. The Washington Post and the New York Times both run stories questioning whether Omar's presence is hurting the Democratic Party. The message is clear. The establishment is preparing an exit strategy, laying the groundwork for Omar's potential departure. But as the media continues to spin the narrative, something even more sinister starts to emerge. Leaked financial records show a sudden surge of donations to Omar's defense, linked to foreign entities. Independent journalists dig deeper and discover unsettling patterns of foreign influence in Omar's campaign finances. If true, this would be much more than a political scandal. It could become a national security issue. Brandon Gill seizes the opportunity once again. He steps onto the House floor, delivering a passionate speech accusing the foreign donors of attempting to manipulate American politics. The questions are piling up. Who is really behind this surge in funding? Who is pulling the strings? As the pressure mounts, new developments continue to emerge. Another bombshell drops. A former aide to Omar, speaking anonymously, confirms that the leaked audio recording is real. The aide recounts chilling details of Omar coaching illegal immigrants on how to avoid ICE, leading some to believe this is no longer just political misconduct, it's criminal. Omar fires back on CNN, calling this yet another MAGA fabrication. But the evidence is mounting. The situation is spiraling out of control, and Democrats are in full damage control mode. Inside Congress, the whispers grow louder. Could this be the moment where Ilhan Omar's political career crumbles? With the walls closing in, MAGA lawmakers introduce the Protecting Congress Act, a groundbreaking bill that would expel any lawmaker found guilty of obstructing immigration enforcement or aiding illegal immigration. If this bill passes, it could mean the immediate expulsion of Ilhan Omar from Congress. The stakes have never been higher. The media blitz erupts. Liberal outlets call the bill an authoritarian overreach, warning of the rise of fascism. But even as the Democratic Party rallies to defend Omar, cracks are beginning to form. Moderate Democrats are distancing themselves, realizing that defending Omar may cost them in the 2026 midterms. As this political storm continues to rage, the question on everyone's mind is, how far will MAGA go? Will Ilhan Omar's political career survive? Or is this the beginning of the end for her? The stage is set for a battle that will shake Washington to its core. And as this story unfolds, you can't afford to miss the next twist in this ever-evolving saga. Make sure you're subscribed because what happens next could change everything.